Well, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I know it's Montes, and and I'm going to read the chapter 5 of this book, High Life, Low Life, by Alan Battersby. The name of the chapter 5 is Inside Information. I got to McFadden's bar at lunchtime. Inside, it was noisy and busy, but cool, thanks to the air conditioning. I realized I was hungry. I hadn't eaten properly since breakfast the day before. I ordered a steak with extra fries. As I was eating, Shaq, the bartender, called me. Hey Nat, there's a guy here. Says you're buying him a drink. I looked up. Ed Winchester was waving an empty glass. Well, I guess I am, I say. Over here, Ed, and this had better be good. I like doing business this way, said Ed. You buy me drinks, I find you information. Ed told me he'd been in the Daily News library reading up about Whitaker here. It was a good story. Tom Whitaker was an interesting guy. He had been in USA Air Service pilot and was shot down in France in the First World War. He was one of the lucky few who made it home. When he got out of the air service, he bought a couple of ex-air service planes and started flying people around the city, sightseeing by air. In the late 1920s, he started an airline business, flights to Washington and Chicago. He saw that the future was in air travel. During the 1950s, the railroads were beginning to lose passengers to the airlines, and Whitaker Air was taking a big share of them. Was he the sort of guy who lived for his work? I asked. Not at all, replied Ed. He was quite a ladies' man. Look at this. Daily News, 1957. Ed gave me a photocopy of a newspaper story. There was Tom Whitaker at a table in a cocktail bar with three amazing looking blondes, each one better built and better looking than Marilyn Monroe. Whitaker looked pleased with himself. I could understand why. Just look at him, said Ed. He could be your brother. We might look alike, I say, but he had everything I don't have. Money and woman. And went on to tell me that Tom Whitaker worked hard and played hard. Even after he was married, he played around with other women. It wasn't a happy marriage, and he and Mr. Whitaker probably stayed together for the children. He sold Whitaker Air to Pan Am in the late 1960s. Then he spent most of his time on City Island, drinking and fishing. He died in 1974. Goodbye, Tom Whitaker, I say. You are in luck, buddy, said Eddie. When she dies, you can afford drinks for everyone. I walked back to East 43rd Street. Stella was busy at the computer when I arrived at office. Hi, Stella, I said. I've just been speaking to Ed. Don't you mean speaking and drinking? Stella replied. Yeah, with Ed, you can't do one without the other. I told Stella everything I learned from Ed. You know, Nat, it frightens me. Mr. Whitaker, Martha, that apartment, she said. Oh, like something out of a horror movie. You said it, Stella had. And imagine never going out. What sort of life is that? Mr. Whitaker's not right in the head. She isn't if she's left money to me, I say. Any clients for me to see? The phone hasn't run all day, Stella say. Oh, well, I'm going to Century Apartments to see the one person I know there who is not crazy, Bob the doorman. I arrived at Century Apartments and walked into the lobby. The air conditioner was working perfectly. It was like walking into December. Bob, remember me? I asked. Ah, Mr. Marley, he said. Call me Nat. I'd like to ask you a few questions about Mr. Whitaker. No, Mr. Marley, Nat, he said. I really shouldn't talk about our. Will this help? I asked. I showed him my investigator's license. That helped a little. I also showed him a $50 bill. That helped a lot. Martha does some of the shoppings or the stores send things to the apartment. Mr. Whitaker is the type of lady who likes to be looked after. Does she get many visitors? I've been here 5 years, Bob said. In that time, the only visitors I've seen here are her son and daughter. Even they've only been here 3 or 4 times. The last time I saw them was over 2 years ago. I remember because they were both angry when they left. The daughter was in tears. Family disagreement or something. So Mr. Whitaker saw nobody except for Martha, and I thought, not a healthy way of life. And that is how the chapter 5 ends. I have to work now, so see you in the next video. Goodbye.